Have you ever questioned the reliability of your own memory? What if what you remember accurately does not match the reality of the world around you? This intriguing phenomenon is known as the Mandela effect, a term coined by paranormal researcher Fiona Broome in 2010. It refers to a collective misremembering of specific facts or events, causing many to question the nature of reality and the reliability of their own memories. The Mandela effect got its name from a fascinating instance of collective false memory. Many people distinctly remember South African President Nelson Mandela dying in prison during the 1980s. Yet, in our accepted reality, Mandela was released in 1990 and passed away in 2013. How can such a widespread and specific memory be so drastically different from the accepted truth? Some propose that these collective misrememberings are not mistakes at all, but rather evidence of our movement between parallel universes. In this theory, our world is just one of an infinite number of universes, each slightly different from the last. Every decision, every chance, creates another universe where the alternate outcome occurs. Imagine a universe where Mandela did die in the 80s, where the Berenstain Bears were actually the Berenstein Bears, or where a genie movie starring Sinbad called Shazam really did exist. Sound crazy? Well, it's not as far-fetched as you might think. Quantum physicists have been seriously considering the possibility of parallel universes for decades. And the Mandela effect, with its numerous instances of collective false memory, seems to provide eerie evidence for such a theory. But whether it's a case of simple misremembering or evidence of movement between parallel universes, one thing is certain. The Mandela effect presents a fascinating paradox of memory that continues to baffle and intrigue. Dive with me into the enigma of the Mandela effect as we count down the top 10 examples that might make you question your own reality. At number 10, we have the beloved childhood book series, The Berenstain Bears. Now here's where things get a bit fuzzy. Many of us remember it as the Berenstain Bears with an E, not the Berenstain Bears with an A. It's a common misremembering that's confused many who spent their childhood immersed in these bear family adventures. So why the discrepancy? Some argue it's a simple case of mispronunciation that's led to a wide-scale misspelling. Others, however, take a more cosmic view. They propose that this is evidence of us living in a parallel universe, one where the E changed to an A and we've all just transferred over, with only our memories retaining the original spelling. Is this a simple case of misremembering or a glimpse into a parallel universe? You decide. The Berenstain Bears paradox continues to baffle us as we dive deeper into the mysterious world of the Mandela effect. Our number 9 spot goes to the non-existent movie Shazam. That's right, thousands of people swear they've watched a film called Shazam, with the comedian Sinbad playing a jovial genie. They recall specific scenes, lines, even the VHS cover. Yet, no such film exists. Sinbad himself has confirmed he never donned a turban and billowing pants for such a role. This widespread belief has puzzled many, sparking debates over the reliability of collective memory. Some attribute this to confabulation, where the mind fills in gaps in memory with fabricated, misinterpreted, or distorted information. Others suggest it might be a case of misattribution, confusing the film with the similar-themed Kazam, starring Shaquille O'Neal. Yet, the mystery remains. How could so many people share a vivid memory of a film that never existed? Is it a simple case of misremembering? Or does it hint at something more profound like the Mandela effect? Could thousands of people be misremembering the same non-existent movie? Coming in at number 8, we have the case of Curious George's Tale. A curious case indeed, and it involves none other than the beloved children's book character, Curious George. Now, if you've grown up reading about his adventures or watching his animated series, you might recall him having a tail. But brace yourselves for a reality check. Curious George, the famous little monkey, in fact, does not have a tail. Yes, it's true. Despite the common misbelief, our favorite mischievous character has been tailless all along. It makes you wonder, doesn't it? How did we come to remember something that doesn't exist? Could it be the collective memory of us all playing tricks? Or might it be a glitch from a parallel universe seeping into ours? It's a tantalizing thought. Is it possible that in another universe, Curious George does have a tail? Let's continue exploring these intriguing possibilities as we move on to our next Mandela effect example. At number 7, we have the Monopoly Man's missing monocle. Do you remember the iconic Monopoly Man, also known as Rich Uncle Pennybags, squinting through a dashing monocle? Well, here's a surprising revelation. He never actually had one. Despite widespread belief, the official artwork of our beloved board game tycoon doesn't include a monocle. It's quite astonishing, isn't it? This particular example of the Mandela effect leaves many puzzled. From Halloween costumes to comedic parodies, the Monopoly Man and his supposed monocle have been ingrained in pop culture. It's a shared memory, vivid and specific, yet it contradicts reality. So what could be the source of this collective misremembering? Some suggest it might be due to confusion with other monocled characters like Mr. Peanut, the Planters mascot. Others propose a more tantalizing theory, hinting at the existence of a parallel universe. Could we all be recalling a Monopoly Man from a parallel universe? Now, wouldn't that be something? Number 6 brings us the color chartreuse. This intriguing hue has sparked a debate that's as colorful as the shade itself. Many people, when asked, will tell you that chartreuse is a vibrant pink or even a deep red. But the reality is quite different, and might leave you questioning your own memory. Chartreuse, named after the French liqueur, is actually a shade of green. That's right, green. It's a zesty mix of yellow and green, much like the color of fresh lime peel or a sprig of springtime fern. So how did this misconception about chartreuse being a shade of pink or red come about? That's the mystery. It's a perfect example of the Mandela effect, where a large group of people remember something that contrasts with the actual facts. So the next time you think of chartreuse, remember, it's not a rosy hue, but a lively green. Does this make you question your own color memory? At number 5, we have the famous misquote from Star Wars, a legendary line etched in the annals of cinematic history, yet commonly misremembered. You've likely heard it repeated as, "Luke, I am your father." This line, delivered by Darth Vader, has been parroted in pop culture for decades. However, here's the twist. That's not the actual line. In the 1980 film Star Wars Episode V, The Empire Strikes Back, the true dialogue unfolds differently. The line, as spoken by Darth Vader, is in fact, "No, I am your father." Yes, you heard that right. There's no Luke at the beginning, just a simple yet powerful "no." This discrepancy between collective memory and actual fact is a prime example of the Mandela effect in action. Our brains, it seems, have a knack for subtly twisting reality, creating a shared yet flawed memory. So, does this change how you remember one of the most iconic lines in film history? Number 4 is the premature death of Billy Graham. This takes us into the realm of prominent public figures, where the lines of memory blur. Billy Graham, a world-renowned evangelist, is remembered by many to have died years before his actual passing in 2018. This is not just a vague recollection. People speak of vivid memories of his funeral, broadcasted on television with former presidents delivering eulogies. Yet, in our current reality, Billy Graham was very much alive during these supposed years of his death, continuing his evangelical work across the globe. It's an intriguing case of collective misremembering. Could it be a simple mix-up with another public figure's demise? Or is it a more complex issue of our minds playing tricks on us? These questions remain unanswered, further fueling the mystery of the Mandela effect. Could this be evidence of a time slip into a parallel universe? We'll continue our exploration in the next segment. Number 3 brings us to the Tank Man of Tiananmen Square. An iconic image etched in the annals of history, this brave individual stood his ground in front of a line of tanks during the Tiananmen Square protests in 1989. The controversy, however, lies in the recollection of his fate. A significant number of individuals distinctly remember the Tank Man being tragically run over by the tanks. However, in the reality that we know, the Tank Man was not run over. He was, in fact, whisked away from the scene by unknown individuals, his fate remaining a mystery to this day. This stark contrast between collective memory and historical fact raises intriguing questions. How can such a vivid, emotionally charged event be remembered incorrectly by so many? Is this a case of collective false memory, or evidence of a parallel universe? Number 2 takes us to the location of New Zealand. Now, who doesn't love the land of the Kiwis with its enchanting landscapes and the home to the famous Lord of the Rings trilogy? But here's the catch. Many people distinctly remember New Zealand being northeast of Australia, not southeast as it is on our current world maps. This isn't just a one-off memory lapse or a simple geographical blunder. Numerous individuals insist that they remember it being in a completely different location. Some even go as far as to say they remember studying it in school or seeing it on a map in the northeast position. So, why do so many people have this shared memory of New Zealand's location being different? Is it just a common mistake, or could it be something more? Some suggest that this could be an example of the Mandela effect, a phenomenon where a group of people remember something differently than how it currently exists. Could this be evidence of parallel universes with different geographical layouts? And finally, at number 1, we have the death of Nelson Mandela. This is the very incident that gave birth to the term Mandela effect. The world-renowned South African leader, Nelson Mandela, is remembered by many as having tragically passed away while incarcerated in the 1980s. These recollections are so vivid, they span detailed accounts of his funeral, the mourning in South Africa, and the heartfelt speech by his widow. Yet, the reality, as documented in our history books, tells a different story. Nelson Mandela did not meet his end in a prison cell in the 1980s. In fact, he was released from prison in 1990, after 27 years of captivity. Following his release, Mandela went on to become the President of South Africa, serving from 1994 to 1999, and continued as a prominent global figure until his actual death in 2013. This disparity between collective memory and recorded history is startling. Thousands, if not millions, of people around the globe share the erroneous memory of Mandela's death in prison. So how could such a mass misremembering occur? Some attribute it to faulty memory, others to misinformation. But there are those who propose a more radical explanation: the existence of parallel universes. In a parallel universe, it's suggested, Mandela did indeed die in prison in the 1980s, and somehow, memories from that universe have leaked into ours, causing the widespread false recollection. The Mandela effect, as it came to be known, sparked a flurry of discussions and debates about the nature of memory, reality, and our universe. Is this large-scale misrecollection merely a testament to the fallibility of human memory? Or does it hint at something far more complex, something that challenges our understanding of the universe and our place in it? Is this the ultimate proof of the existence of parallel universes? We've delved into some truly mind-boggling instances of the Mandela effect. The world continues to debate the perplexing case of the Berenstain Bears spelling, stirring up controversies and creating a sense of unease. Meanwhile, the confusing account of Nelson Mandela's death has left many with a profound sense of disbelief. These widespread misinterpretations of historical facts have shaken the foundation of our understanding of reality. Could it be that we are existing in a parallel universe? Or is it merely the manifestation of our imperfect memory playing tricks on us? We may be caught in a never-ending loop of speculation reaching a conclusive verdict. Amidst all the uncertainty, one aspect remains non-negotiable: the intrigue that the Mandela effect continues to generate. It's a mystery that doesn't cease to draw us in, making us question our perception and understanding. If you found this video insightful and thought-provoking, remember to hit that like button, subscribe to our channel, and click the notification bell to stay updated with more engrossing content. Thank you for being with us on this intriguing journey.